proud occasion for our department as we felicitate one of our distinguished alumni, Dr. Ratheesh. Having earned his Ph.D. in physics from this very department, he went on to establish himself as a leading scientist, especially in the field of electronic materials. His outstanding contributions and leadership have now culminated in his appointment as the Director General of CMET under the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. Today, we come together to celebrate his remarkable achievements and extend our heartfelt congratulations. The Department of Physics was established in 1970 under the Faculty of Science with Dr. K.S. Viswanathan, an eminent theoretical physicist and a distinguished student of Nobel laureate Sir C.V. Raman as its founder head. The department began its journey with a UGC-sponsored post-MSc diploma course in space physics, enrolling just 7 students along with a few research scholars. From these modest beginnings, it has grown into one of the most vibrant centers of academic and research activity. Over the years, the department has received significant support, including from the DST under the PhD program. Today, it offers MSc, FIUGP, and PhD programs in physics, and its researchers continue to contribute cutting-edge work, earning prestigious recognition such as the MeitY Fellowship. The department remains committed to academic excellence, pioneering research and nurturing future generations of physicists. As we begin the day's program, I invite Dr. Subodhji, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics, for the welcome address.
A very good morning to all of you. Today is a very special day for the department as we are celebrating one of the greatest achievements of our alumnus, Dr. Ratheesh. Regarding him, he did his PhD from here under the guidance of Professor V. Unnikrishnan Nair sir, and then he spent years at CSIR NIST as a postdoctoral researcher under the guidance of Dr. M.T. Sebastian. And then he joined as a scientist at CMET. During that period, he has got about 3 postdoctoral fellowships simultaneously. And if you look into his career from CMET to the director of CMET at Hyderabad, so you can see that he has grown because of his hard work, his determination, and also dedication towards the development of science and technology. And apart from that, he was instrumental in starting an MTech program in association with IIT Hyderabad that is about e-waste resource management, e-waste resource engineering and management. And if you look into his CV, we can see that the most prolific period is once you get the directorship, because he has not only he has done the administrative job for the IIT Hyderabad, he has developed several technologies, and they have been patented, and also they have been sold to the companies. So personally, I know Dr. Ratheesh from 2002 onwards, when university co-organized a national laser symposium. And later I became PhD student of CSIR NIST, and we had interactions together, and we even have a publication out of that. He was my PhD examiner and also the chairman of Open Defense. One of the special things about him personally to me is like when we face some challenges or we were a little bit demotivated, I usually call him. And he talks very, very good. He talks very good means in a way that anybody can be energized or recharged by his talk. So with these words about Dr. Ratheesh, sir, I would like to move to my job of the welcome address. First and foremost, I would like to welcome all the former faculty members of Department of Physics because they have done, um, they have laid the foundation for the department, and every achievements coming in years after their retirement, a part belongs to them because they build the stone, a foundation stone for the department, especially Professor Unikishan Nair sir, Renuga teacher, and Vaidyan sir, Devanarayan sir, Aruldas sir, Balram Rao sir, and also the founder head, Professor Vishwanathan sir. So all have contributed significantly to the department. So I welcome all on behalf of the Department of Physics and also on behalf of the Alumni Association, all of them to this program. Now, today's chief guest, Dr. R. Ratheesh, we will be introduced formally by at the later stage when he is about to talk. He has been one of the prolific alumni of our department, and he has readily agreed to come over here because many times I asked him to come over here when he's in and around Trivandrum, but I mean, this is the right opportunity he felt, and he is happy to be here. I welcome you on behalf of the Department of Physics. Now, I would like to extend a sincere welcome to Dr. K.G. Govchandran. He is our alumnus and also professor of the Department of Optoelectronics and also the syndicate member of the University of Kerala. Now, I would like to welcome for the formality, Professor V. Biju, and Dr. Hubert Joe, Dr. Sam Solomon, Dr. Ian Jabhar, Dr. C.P. K.S., Dr. Mamta, Dr. Savita, Dr. Deepa, Dr. Sharath, Dr. Ashwati, all the faculty members, and Anama teacher is here, Dr. Rajesh is here. So all members of the physics fraternity I'm welcoming. Now, I would like to extend a sincere welcome to all the research scholars and our master students who has been a part of this program. So I wish maybe you can listen to Dr. Ratheesh today because, I mean, life is not that easy. The way he has contributed, the way he approached the problems, I mean, the problems are like different kinds and different obstacles are there. So how he has managed and how he has evolved from this very department to the summit of an institute. I mean, we were eager to listen to it. Maybe you can also learn at least a few tips from him. And with this, I wish all the best for this program. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, I invite Dr. V. Biju, professor and former head of the department, to deliver the presentation address.
Distinguished professors on and off the dais and also in the online, dear research scholars and students. Now, it's a very happy occasion for the department because one of its alumnus has reached a stage where the Director General of a central government research institute with many branches across India. Not only that, it's especially this meeting is not just for Dr. Ratheesh, but actually for the MSc students and the PhD scholars of this department. Because most of the students walk into this department just like they walk into an ordinary college. I'm not using the word ordinary in the real sense, in the literary sense, but actually the university departments are actually far apart from something different from usual postgraduate institutes. In fact, Dr. Subodh, during his speech, mentioned about the professors, many of whom have joined online for this program. In fact, the legacy of the departments is something that we should all be proud about. Now, starting off from Professor K.S. Vishwanathan, an illustrious student, in fact, quoted as the best student of C.V. Raman, who actually resolved an academic debate between C.V. Raman and Max Born on lattice dynamics, where the paper on his work on soft modes in solids is something that is incredible actually. But nobody actually recognizes this department as something like a jewel in the crown of Kerala. In fact, those who have had the opportunity to do some program in this department are actually very, very lucky, because the legacy that department holds, the type of academic environment that our department holds, is something unique. So, and Dr. Ratheesh, I would say, he did his PhD here in the area of Raman spectroscopy. I think at that time, this was the only place in Kerala where they had a Raman spectrometer, probably from 1978 onwards. And if I'm correct, more than 40 persons have done PhD from a single instrument, and which was running only during night. And all of them have spent night in this department for completing their PhDs. I think Dr. Ratheesh is there, Dr. Jayashree is there, Dr. Annamma is there, all of them were there. Dr. Shanta was there, and all of them had done only during night. Their PhD experiments were conducted only during night. Not only that, former director of ISER Trivandrum, Dr. Ramakrishnan, was also there. And there was another group from which Dr. K.G. Gopchandran sir came, that is Dr. Vaidyan sir's group. They were doing it on vacuum systems, thin films and all. So it was a very versatile department. And of course, space physics was also a part of the study. Now, why I am saying all these things is not just to boast about the department, but these informations are slowly being lost from the physics community. This is something to be reminded of again and again, and these are the right occasions for such statements. Now, coming to Dr. Ratheesh, the point is he did his PhD in Raman spectroscopy, a part probably theory and experiment, but then he switched over. He switched over to electroceramics, dielectric resonators, and now he's actually working on e-waste management, like getting back the valuable metals and all from e-waste. So the point is, when you do a PhD, it is something like learning the process of learning. And then you evolve, you make your own methods of learning, you make your own way to travel. That is what you call as a journey in research, which is very fascinating, which is very adventurous, and hardships are also there. See, sometimes when we have to do an MSc project, and suppose we do it in spaces, we feel that we will do the same thing till the end of our life. That's not the case. The point is shifting, adapting, learning new things. That always keeps you motivated and keep you evolving from time to time. And he is a perfect example. Dr. Ratheesh is a perfect example of that. And I won't take much time, but as Dr. Subodh said, the former professors of the department, Professor Krishnan sir, he actually joins every open defense, every pre-submission, he joins online even now. Dr. The teacher is there. Their legacy, the present group of teachers in this department are actually grateful to them, because they have shown us a way of conducting the programs, and we have kept their legacy alive through the classes, through the research programs, and through the PhD program. And I hope that the coming generation will also be inspired by this, and they will keep on doing good work from this department. With this, I congratulate Dr. Ratheesh officially from the department. As also as an alumnus of the department, I am very happy that one of us have reached such a height. And the point is, all of us, whether it is Govt sir or Jayashree teacher or Shanta madam or Annamma teacher, all are well-known persons as both teachers, speakers, and researchers. And it is something that we are all proud about. So with this, I conclude my presidential address, and I once again congratulate Dr. Ratheesh for his academic achievements. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are honored by the presence of Dr. Unikrishnan Nair, former professor at the Department of Optoelectronics. I now invite him to deliver the special address.
those who are present on the dais, faculty of the physics department, and research scholars, students. I hope I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, when I joined the department in 1978, Professor Vishwanathan asked me, why not we purchase a Raman spectrometer? I am Raman student, so we should have a Raman spectrometer. We just went after that, and there were some funds available which were not used by the other departments. Those funds, the finance officer said, we can make use of it. And so we purchased Raman spectrometer in that way. That is a thing as far as the Raman spectrometer is concerned. So how we got it, and a good number of students made use of it for PhD work. And here itself, my students are there, other students are there, Annama, then and others, and Joe, etc., Sunila Abraham, etc. And at that time, there were problems with the electricity. Electricity will often fail, or in the daytime, they will be fluctuating. So when you are fluctuating, we know you will get a Raman line or a line in the spectrometer. So what we thought is, we will just change it, and we will work from 10 night to 4 a.m., 6 hours. And somebody asked me about the physics department. I told them, this is a department which was not sleeping. There is no sleeping time. All the time it will be working. And others also joined along with us. Not only those who are using the spectrometer, but others who are working in other area were also making use of, also were in the lab at that time, not only in Raman lab, in other labs. Professor Kalkura in Anna University is also one person I remember. Rajendra Babu and others. This is how the department worked, which was not sleeping. That is how the research scholars were working at that time. And as far as I am concerned, I may say that I am very fortunate to have very good students. It is because of their hard work they were able to come up below, from not at a level, a very high level, they came up. Dr. Ratheesh now became the Director General of CMET. Earlier, Mahadevamula became the Vice Chancellor. Now, Ushiri is the acting Vice Chancellor, and he has got it for 1 year. And another person is Jayasri, now becoming an award in the Indian Medical Association. And Mujib, who became the director of the Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute. And like that, and then Xavier Matthew, he is a editor in a reputed journal of solar materials and solar cells. And like that, they all came up. Then one person I mentioned, Jayasri, Dr. Jayasri R.S. Two Jayasris were my students, and Jayasri R.S. is the person I am mentioning. And she became, I think, now scientist G in Sri Ithira Institute, and Dean also. that is how the department became, and I am also a part of it. So a hard-working department it was, and it is. I hope it is also hard-working now. Then Vishwanathan went to TFR, and it is a technical job, but he thought it is a academic job, but it was a technical job. He was slightly disappointed, but later he became professor in a university in Coimbatore and also in near Viruthanagar, and and uh, and all these things happen. And we also know that my first student Munira became the professor in the Department of Physics. I am fortunate because of their work. Their work, I may have scolded them, but they worked very hard, and then the results came. Now, as far as Ratheesh is concerned, he is a hard worker. Earlier, he has some problems because he was sleeping in the daytime and sitting with the spectrometer and other work in the night. And so but he overcame that. Then after he got PhD, he moved to NIST, present NIST, and then he worked there with Sebastian. And after that, he got a job in CMET and CMET Trichur, and he worked there very well. And because of his work here, he became the director of the CMET Hyderabad. He used to talk with me and talk about the problems. Then he said that we are working on separating lithium from battery. Lithium from battery means, you know the importance of that. Lithium is not plenty, and almost all of them are cornered by China. So electric batteries we cannot make. But they separated lithium from the battery in Hyderabad. And the result, and when that came up, the patent was obtained, and I think Tata Chemicals purchased it. And so it was available in that way. But we are even now looking for regions from where we can have the lithium, because battery is so rich. And cobalt, these are the two minerals for which we are all trying to get. And you know, US President Trump is trying to get cobalt from the other person, Ukraine. So that is how these metals are important. And so, see, Dr. Ratheesh's laboratory in Hyderabad were working on all these materials. So that is how he became director, and very hard-working person. And he used to call me every month and say about the work, and I like that. And I am very happy. He was elevated to the Director General of the CMET laboratories at Trichur, Hyderabad, and Pune. So I congratulate him for getting this position. And with these few words, I stop my talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I kindly request Professor K.G. Komchandran, former head of the Department of Electronics, to share his words of wisdom.
Respected President of the function, Professor Biju, today's chief guest, renowned scientist, Dr. R. Ratheesh, Dr. Hibet, Dr. Subodh, and other distinguished personalities and members of the faculty, research students, MSc students, and most respected professors on the line, Professor Nikish Nair sir and Reenaga teacher, and dear friends. It's actually a very happy occasion for our university as well as for Department of Physics that one of our alumni, Dr. Ratheesh, has elevated to a top position in India, that is the Director General of Center for Electronic Materials. Especially in the 21st century, it is a time for the India is taking active research in the semiconductor initiatives. And I understand that Dr. Ratheesh is entrusted with the responsibilities linked to this semiconductor initiative and quantum computing. So first, as usual, I would like to request Dr. Ratheesh to consider University of Kerala, especially Department of Physics and Department of Optoelectronics, in this initiative, some opportunities for our faculty as well as students to take part in this initiative. And I have had the chance to observe the elevation of Dr. Ratheesh from a postgraduate in physics to this particular highest position. So he was doing PhD research here, then he moved to Regional Research Laboratory for postdoctoral research. Then he moved to Germany as a Humboldt Fellow. Thereafter he got, I think, JSP Fellowship also, I think a postdoctoral fellowship also. Then he, after spending years in 2-3 foreign countries, he came back to India to join in the CMET. And what I would like to tell you is that from my heart, I would like to tell you that he got all these things just because of his dedication, sincerity, and determination. Because most importantly, today he was actually, we were almost 10:35 to start this meeting, and it was almost 5 minutes late. Then Ratheesh was saying that I am very particular about time, but this is not, this punctuality was there even when he was a doctoral student, because he was very particular about time. That is why he finished his doctorate within 3 years during 90s. He took only hardly 3 years for submitting his doctoral thesis. So that way, time was very important for Dr. Ratheesh, and his dedication we cannot explain. At that time, he had a Hero Honda motorcycle bike with him, and that was mainly used for adjustment of this time. I hope I remember, and I got an opportunity to, for a long travel with him in that motorbike, taking a risk to travel to Marthandam without helmet for attending the funeral of father of our late professor Aruldas sir. And it was a risky journey. Even now I remember, because there were only few cars in the campus, and we haven't got a seat in the car. That is why we opted for this bike and did that risk. So now I would like to mention another important thing regarding Dr. Ratheesh. Keeping this time, everything is important, but he was spending about 50% of his time for others' work. For others' work. I remember that he was spending 50% of this 3-year period for others, not for him. So that you can definitely take him as a role model. Instead of taking people like me as role model, the ideal role model is present here. You can take him as a role model. You, especially the master students, you can definitely become you can achieve your goal if you follow him. I am very honestly, I am saying this, and I'm not taking too much time. It is a felicitation address. If I talk about Ratheesh, it will take 2-3 days to complete. So Madam Jayashree is present here, and Dr. Chanda is present here, and others were very close to. We were very working like a team at that time. So I congratulate Dr. Ratheesh, and I am sure that you will be getting much elevated positions in the future. You will get it because you have such a dedication for scientific research. So he tried all of us for data analysis, interpretation, etc. We cannot forget such things. I wish all success for Dr. Ratheesh on behalf of university syndicate members and all faculty, all students, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I humbly request Dr. I. Govt, former head of the Department of Nanoscience and Nanotechnology, to share his words of felicitation.
Good morning to all. Today, meeting President Professor Viju, Syndicate Member Professor Govt, Sri Chitra Medical Center Dr. Jayashree, other faculty members of this department and other colleges, my dear students. I'm very happy to be here to felicitate Dr. Ratheesh. See, I joined in the department the year 1989. It's a scholar under the my supervisor is Professor Aruldas, and Dr. Ratheesh joined the department the year 1991. As Professor Nikesh sir told, we used to spend throughout night in the lab. There are more girl students, say research scholars are there. We used to accompany, myself and Ratheesh used to accompany them. Because see, every night, because the Raman, as Professor told, we used to switch on the water from 6:30 p.m. and we start the laser around 9:30 p.m. till 6 morning a.m. the instrument will stop. So we used to sleep in the Raman lab itself. So most of the nights we used to spend nights together with Dr. Ratheesh, because actually by seniors, every seniors, Raja Gopal and say Pradeep and Dr. Suresh, so everybody left. Finally, both of them are there. We spent the lab to record the samples. Now, at that time, as Professor Govt told, he's the only man no computer. At that time, we were conference call, only 2 computers are there. We don't know how to, I don't know how to say run the computer. At that time, the years, say 35 years ago. Because he actually learned the DCA, Department of, say, Diploma in Computer application. He just completed his. After that, he knows how to run the computer. He just helped how to switch on the computer, how to say, do the computer, everything. Because he has to get the voting list from the provider. So that only, he is the only, say, he used to help. Actually, we discussed the, factor group analysis, all these things we used to discuss together. Actually, he's a helping tendency man. That Professor, Govt sir told like that. He used to help others, whatever you help. Because at that time, we don't have any vehicle. We used his vehicle only to go in Karakota. Even in Karakota, we used to use a bike. So that way, he helped a lot. But he told me at that time, if I remember, he wanted to work with the college to teach a student. His aim, I think, if I remember right, he wanted to teach the students. Unfortunately, it was not happened. But anyway, it was good. Since after completing his PhD, he joined the department of RRL, that is Regional Research Laboratory. Now it is NIST. Then he completed postdoctoral. Then he joined the other postdoctoral fellow in Germany and all these things. So that way, he learned a lot. He has elevated so much. With this time, he reached the Director General. So we just say, this is the way. So people are coming here to learn something. Students, you are getting something from this department. You try to understand the things, how to learn the things. You just learn so many things, and then you fly anywhere, whatever you like, and then you can achieve a lot. This is the way you can do. So in that way, Professor, say, Dr. Ratheesh, attain a good position in our nation, in India. Now, in this time, I would like to request Dr. Ratheesh on behalf of everyone here that you, for your understanding contribution to science and society, we honor your past achievements, we celebrate your present leadership, and we look forward with great anticipation to the discoveries you will inspire in the years to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. May I now request the professor and head of the Department of Optoelectronics, Dr. Sam Solomon, to deliver the felicitation.
Respected professors, scientists, and my dear friends. First of all, I would like to appreciate the Department of Physics for organizing this wonderful function. Dr. Ratheesh joined Dr. Sebastian's group in 1994, I think. So from that day onwards, we are good friends. I completed my PhD only because of some personalities. Dr. Shanda is here, Dr. Ratheesh and Dr. Srinivasan, because I joined CSIR, Research Laboratory, in 1992 as a JRF. Then I quit that laboratory by converting my PhD to part-time. So part-time PhD was very difficult in CSIR, Research Laboratory, but they helped me in my work, and I completed my work because of their help. So a new field, spectroscopy in inorganic materials. We have started that, our group started the work in inorganic materials spectroscopy, vibration spectroscopic studies with the help of Dr. Ratheesh. And he is a model to all researchers. That is what I am saying. And we were together and we have a lot of memories. Most of the memories are with his bike that somebody said. So we were together, and I would like to congratulate Dr. Ratheesh for his achievements. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We now move to the main highlight of today's function, felicitating Dr. R. Ratheesh for his remarkable achievements. Before we proceed, allow me to give a brief introduction about him. Dr. R. Ratheesh has completed his PhD in physics from the Department of Physics, University of Kerala in 1995. He was a postdoctoral fellow at the National Institute for Interdisciplinary Science and Technology, Tirunelveli, till 1997. He joined as a scientist at CMS Thrissur in 1997 and served in various capacities. He took over as a director of CMS Hyderabad in the year 2016. Recently, he has been selected as the Director General of Center for Materials for Electronics Technology, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, by the Appointment Committee of the Cabinet. He is a recipient of many postdoctoral fellowships abroad, which include Alexander von Humboldt Fellowship at University of Osnabrück, Germany, Voight Fellowship at the State University of New Jersey, USA, Lady Davis Fellowship at the Solar State Institute, Technical Israel, BIST Bilateral Fellowship at University of Western Australia, etc. He is an honorary visiting chair professor at the Department of Metallurgical and Materials Engineering in the Institute of Technology, Madras, under urban mining. His current areas of research interest include high-end microwave ceramics and composites for wireless communication applications, cost-effective and environmentally benign technologies for e-waste recycling, hafnium metal targets and spoons for semiconductor and aerospace applications, growth of silicon carbide single crystal boards for power electronics applications, etc. High-end microwave printed circuit boards, an embargo item for the Indian strategic sector, are developed, patented, scaled up, and commercialized by him for wireless communication applications. These products were qualified by ISRO and Fermilab USA and used as high-power solid-state amplifiers in INVEST-2 particle accelerators. Super high-Q BMT resonators jointly developed and patented by his research group together with ISRO, are being used in space communication applications. He is the main architect of Fraunhofer model research at CMET, which caters to many strategic materials such as hafnium, gallium, artiduroid, silicon carbide wafers, etc. for critical electronic applications. Dr. Ratheesh has published more than 115 research papers in international journals, 11 patents, 30 technology transfers to private industries, 2 book chapters, and delivered more than 150 invited lectures. Dr. Ratheesh bagged Young Scientist Award from KCST in the year 2000, PSL National Technology Award in 2011, Elsina EFI Award for Excellence in Outstanding R&D in 2016-17, and Atma Bharata Award from ISAC in 2023.
To celebrate his inspiring journey, I kindly invite Professor K.G. Gopchandran and Dr. I.P. Gurjo to come forward and adorn our respected guest, Dr. Ratheesh, with the traditional Pannada as a token of love, respect, and appreciation on behalf of Kerala University Physics Society. And I request Dr. V. Biju, former head of the Department of Physics, to present the memento to Ratheesh sir as a mark of our deep appreciation and admiration.
We thank our esteemed guest for accepting this application and extend our gratitude to Gopchandran sir, Gilberto sir, and Biju sir for presenting the Pannada memento. Now, it is my privilege to invite Dr. Ratheesh to share his insights and deliver the invited talk titled Contribution Towards Leapfrogging Electronic Materials for Artificial Technology.
Respected Professor V. Unikshan Nair, Renuga teacher, my colleagues who has joined online, Dr. Srimulanathan and Professor Biju, Dr. Govchandran, Dr. Kripacho, Dr. Jayasri, Dr. Shanta, Dr. Sam, all my colleagues who are here. I'm extremely glad that Dr. Subodh, I'm sorry, who has organized this function. I'm extremely happy to be here and very good morning to all of you. I'm very proud to stand in front of you because this is Karvabasi for me, coming back to the home, like where I learned the art of research. There was a lot of things has been deliberated by many of my colleagues, like, I think it should be a learning curve for all of you. Some of my PhD students who completed PhD with me are also there. So there is not saying that togetherness will give you strength. We started with nothing, with a simple Raman spectrometer. Maybe 40 students have completed their PhD. They're not completed their PhD. They completed their PhD with excellent international publications. That's what we need to underline. I'm sure that Dr. Shanda or Dr. Jayasri, all of them has published in Journal of Solid State Chemistry, Spectrochemica. Please go back and look at that. I remember we have published a 30-page publication in Journal of Solid State Chemistry without any correction, without any modification. I thank that to the professors. I have to dedicate all these accolades, whatever is given to us, to my professor, Professor Unikrishan Nair, who was instrumental in molding us as researchers. There was some mention about punctuality. We learned punctuality from Sir. Every day he will be present at the department exactly at 8:45 a.m. And he wants his student to be around at that time. And he leaves the department by 5:50. He takes the last bus from campus, so we have to be with him. Actually, our work starts after that. As Dr. Jose pointed out, we switch on the water pump at 6:30, and we start our research work in the night. Maybe all the 3 years or 4 years which I spent in this department, we work 24/7. Not somebody has pressurized us to do that work. This is the advantage of having Professor Bichu has rightly pointed out the difference between a normal college and a campus. I think Dr. Bintu and Dr. Annama, they never worked with Professor Unikishnan, but all the time we were there together with them to complete their work. That's a kind of teamwork. That's a kind of enthusiasm which we have shown, which you seldom seen in any other department. For example, I was sitting at a room just out the corridor where it is written that in the field of experimentation, chance favors a prepared mind. I don't know whether still that poster is there or not. In the field of experimentation, chance favors a prepared mind. I did not understand the meaning of that at that point of time. What does it mean? Every morning I see this. Now I can interpret it. I'll talk about it a little later. So I completed my PhD in 3 years, rather 2 years and 9 months. I requested sir to correct my thesis. He did it on time. So then I realized that with a PhD alone, you cannot really achieve the targets what you are looking for. Sir was so supportive. Like, the practice is that when you do some work on a particular area, you continue to till your retirement. Even after retirement, people continue to work in the same line. I realized that if you want to learn science, you need to explore more. So I moved to RRL Trivandrum. That was my second PhD. I didn't call it as a postdoc. What we did was, like, we used spectroscopy as a means to interpret structure property relationship, which was not being looked at till that point of time. Dr. Srimulanathan was the PhD scholar there. Dr. Sam Solomon was there. We started a new kind of research at RRL by way of understanding, the structure property correlation. Simply, if you call it structure property correlation, it doesn't mean anything, because we were working on a material. Now I'll talk about technology. When you use your mobile phone in India, and if you carry the same mobile phone in the Eastern European country where it is sub-zero, there should not be any drift in operating frequency with respect to your, mobile phone. How do you do that? So we started exploring, looking at the molecular level of the structure property correlation, how we can tune the property. That was the basic level of advanced materials research we started at RRL Trivandrum. Actually, it was a wonderful program for all these researchers to graduate themselves in research. That's very important. First and foremost thing is you are not doing, research for publication. You are not even doing research for patenting. You are doing research for serving the nation. See, I always feel proud that I'm not doing research. I'm not working for CMET. I'm working for the nation. There was some saying that, like, there are some national programs, India Semiconductor Mission, National Critical Materials Mission. What we need to understand is that we proud that as a country, we are self-sustainable in 3 areas. One is automobile, next is textiles, and third one is pharmaceuticals. I've done an autopsy of, automobiles. If you look at an electric vehicle, you require around 1,500 semiconductors in it. You require 3 to 4 kilograms of permanent magnet. Both these things we don't produce in the country. Then how we can tell that it's self-sustainable? 1 trillion semiconductors are produced in the world. I'm sure that you're all studying in your class. That means 150 semiconductors per every human being in the globe is manufactured, but we don't produce any semiconductors. Very beautiful situation. We also claim that India is the second largest mobile phone producers in the world. That is correct. But I changed an anecdote like saying that we are only the assemblers in the world. We just bring all the kids from Vietnam or some other country. We do assembly. So we need to see, we have now thought leaders. So we need to translate this. You know that India Semiconductor Mission, we are going to indigenously produce semiconductor, but it takes time. And second thing is about energy. If you look at energy security, you know that by 2030, we are supposed to produce 500 gigawatt of renewable energy. These are all very, very critical. Why renewable energy is required? Because you have to reduce carbon emission. You know, if you want production, if you want to make India as a production hub, you require renewable energy. I was just going through the facts and figures of renewable energy. India is doing very well. Currently, India is in the fourth rank as far as renewable energy is concerned. We produce almost 250 gigawatt of renewable energy, and I'm sure that we'll be able to produce 500 gigawatt by 2030. But out of this 250, 230 comes from wind, solar, and all that. Almost 110 gigawatt of energy is produced through solar cell. But entire thing is imported from China. $4.5 billion worth of semiconductor modules are imported from China last year itself. And then comes wind. If you look at wind, if you want to produce 1 gigawatt of electricity, you need 600 kilograms of permanent magnet. We don't produce NDFB permanent magnets in the country. 93% is imported from China. This is where, we require qualified manpower. I believe that our job is not to work for some American companies where they want to make some source code and things like that. Why? Because if you look at Kerala, we have 6.7 million tons of monazite available in our seashore. If we can extract neodymium and praseodymium from that, we would be able to produce permanent magnet inside Kerala itself. It is not a rocket science to produce or recover rare earth oxide and translate them into permanent magnets. So this is where we want, you cannot tell, for example, I'll just give you a lecture if time permits, otherwise I can talk, there is no problem. When you start working that, you cannot call yourself a physicist or chemist or metallurgist. The greatest accolade or recognition which I got in my life is not as the Director General. I believe that the greatest accolade which I got as a researcher is a visiting chair at IIT Madras in the metallurgy department. Having done my Ph.D. in Raman spectroscopy and worked 20 years in CMET as CMET Rishora's ceramic area and moved to CMET Hyderabad in a metallurgical laboratory. So that means, you need to work for the country, you have to work for the nation. We need to understand the requirement and attack that. Dr. Govt also talked about bringing money to, Department of Physics. It can be very well done if you do the problem statement properly. So whatever work we do at CMET Hyderabad are requirement driven. Either it is used for some kind of a strategic applications. For example, so I am a strong advocate of Fraunhofer model research there. That means you should not stop your research at a technology readiness level of 3 or 4. Of course, in university level, that is good enough. Whereas when you move to, you are graduate from university, you need to look at what scale you can, attack your research problem. Entire hafnium record for the countries produced inside my campus. Hafnium is used as a rocket thrusters. You all see that when you launch a rocket, a lot of flame will come through a nozzle. The nozzle has to withstand a temperature of 3000 degrees centigrade. We produce inside the campus the entire hafnium record for the country. Our manpower strength is only 38. And we require 80 people to run the show 24/7. So essentially what I want to tell you is that yes, everything is possible if you have some kind of a determination. You need to identify the problem statement, then you have to attack the research problem. So this is the earnest request which I have to share with the young generation here. So please don't restrict yourself. Maybe when I completed my PhD, I got a job in CFSL, Central Forensic Science Laboratory. I've been appointed at Calcutta. I was confused at that time. Getting a job through UPS is very, very difficult, but I don't want to join for the post. It was a very big risk which I have taken. I always tell this to my students, never compromise. And I paid for that 3 years. I had to wait at say postdoc to get the next job, which I like. I just want to share this. Professor Joe mentioned that I never wanted to become a teacher. Sorry, I wanted to become a scientist only because the reason is that, so innovation, you are working for yourself. Okay, you are working for the country. You are trying to translate your ideas into practice. So, Dr. Rajesh, who is my first PhD student, he is present here. We together started to realize a product called RT2. There is only one country in the world, one company in the world which manufactures. It is called Rogers Corporation in USA. When we started, this all started. In fact, I have a detailed presentation. I don't think whether I have to give a presentation. Yeah, I think I'll speak. So when we immediately after the Pokhran blast in 1999, there was a severe embargo of certain critical materials. So ISRO approached us to develop this material. So I was not a composite man, and we started exploring. The bottom line is that the company who's producing this is a almost $8 billion company today, and we are competing with an $8 billion company who was 92 patents in that particular product at that point of time, and there was not even a single literature available. You don't know what the material is, but it's exorbitantly expensive, $280 per square feet, a printed circuit board. And we started developing. That's what I'm trying to tell you, that the teamwork always gives you fruits. As on date, I'll tell you the status of that. We not only, developed this particular product, we have developed this, we have patented this product in the US. We got almost 120 queries from US attorneys to not to permit or not to sanction this patent. They all work hard. Actually, I have a slide where I could see that my number of publications has came down for 3 years because we could not publish any papers until we get the patent. Thanks for the students who supported me. So you're working on a very technological area. The outcome of that is it's already transferred to an industry. We made 18 inches by 24 inches. It is commercially available in the market. The outcome of it is not that countries are big. We got an invitation from NASA for a collaboration for deep space communication application. Our products were qualified by Fermi Lab. And it appeared in one of our enemy countries as a threat in their defense website. You see, what I want to tell you is that by sitting in four walls, you can serve the nation. This is what we need to do. Instead of doing blue sky research, that is also required. Without R&D, we cannot arrive at any technology. But it doesn't mean that all the time you need to do. I am happy that some of the faculty here are doing very good leapfrogging research. I appreciate that. This is the way we need to take forward this department. I'm extremely happy that this department has given us way how to go about. But you should not restrict yourself to certain areas. But if you ask me what is I'll tell you a very interesting story. Maybe almost a year back, we conducted an international conference in IIT Madras. I was the chairman for that. They put me as the chairman. And it's a ceramic conference. Almost 150 foreign delegates came. One of my PhD students was also there. And she was expecting that I am going to give a lecture in ceramics. Rather, I gave an invited lecture on e-waste recycling. She was surprised. What is this man is talking about? Okay, a paradigm shift. I teach IIT students 3 days a week, even today. I teach them global e-waste policies. I can sit at any forum and talk about the global e-waste policies. So research is a means to learn things. So, many new ideas come now. We are a part of National Quantum Mission. We are a part of National Critical Materials Mission. I don't know how many of you are aware. Now the country is not bothered about, anything else. We are bothered about critical materials. We have already identified 30 materials are critical by Ministry of Mines, and we produce 14 of them. The severity of that is, out of which 9 will extinct from Mother Earth in 100 years. I talked about hafnium. Enough hafnium is available in our, zircon sand, which is available in Tuticorin and even in Trivandrum beach sand. It contains zircon, hafnium, which is a very, very critical element. I am sure that those who have seen Chandrayaan-3 descent, there were 4 propellers. These propellers were made out of hafnium, which is supplied by us. This hafnium will extinct from Mother Earth in 100 years. And indium, all of you are using this place, so indium will, 20 years, if you use the same base indium, you will not have further resources of indium. So these are all major concerns where the students like you can definitely, attempt. So we talk about, semiconductor, for example, 90% of the high-end semiconductors are manufactured mostly by Taiwan, a country which doesn't have any kind of resources. They produce 90% of the semiconductors. The advantage of semiconductors. Can anybody tell that how many semiconductors are used in your mobile phone? As a physics student, have you thought of that? How many semiconductors are there in your mobile phone? Your mobile phone contains almost 150 semiconductors. If you take Apple's mobile, it contains 169 semiconductors. So if you look at you are all studying Moore's law. If you use a 7 nanometer node semiconductor and a 10 nanometer node semiconductors, the difference is that if you use a 7 nanometer node, you will have 40% power saving. You can save the power for 40%, or it will deliver services for 40% more. That technology has reached up to 3 nanometers, but we are starting from 65 nanometer and it takes ages to that. So this is where, you please understand the technology requirement, and we please look at that. These are the very, very important problem, because I told you that India is only 230 or 9 gigawatt of electricity produced through renewable energy. China produces 189 gigawatt of renewable energy, maybe 3 times higher than that of US. You cannot stop China in any means. I am a person who prudently studies the vision document of China. Recently, MeitY has circulated a letter to us saying that you follow Chinese vision. I'm surprised. You see, they produce 1,869 gigawatt of renewable energy. They can produce polysilicon. There are so many technological gaps in semiconductor. If polysilicon, this is one of the ingredients for making, silicon wafers. We don't produce silicon wafers, first of all. We miss the bus every time we talk about it. So even if we start producing silicon through Chakraborty growth, 80% of the polysilicon is produced only by China. That is because they have surplus electricity. Why they are producing permanent magnet? They have surplus electricity. Now they are well advanced in quantum computing, very well advanced. We cannot go close to China because they are much, much advanced than many of these technologies. So what I want to preview, to tell you is that, look at the problem statement for your PhD as well, where you can fetch fund after completing the PhD, how we can use it for, national integration, for the, coming out with the technologies. We have seen recently the power of technology during Sindhu, how best we can navigate things and all that. So, I think I wanted to give a message to you that I started my research in a very humble beginning from here with the help of my colleagues who we helped each other. That's how, like, in everyone has excelled to certain, this one, my colleagues like Dr. Joni, or like, many of them, Dr. Suresh, he was also present here. And we not only help others, we also got help from many of them, like Dr. Srimulanathan, who is the authority in the area of electronic materials and physics, and the well-thought visionary teachers who has taken us to certain limit. We are the beneficiaries of that. It is not that overnight we all learned everything, so I am sure that you have a very good faculty here. Try to understand their vision and try to translate it. You don't need to work 24/7. If you can, prudently, if you can focusedly work on 8 hours a day, I'm sure that you can do wonders. So I think my purpose of taking up this job is to serve my nation. Because whatever best I can do, because this country has given me, I just also wanted to add you that I'm coming from a village called Melvatur in Varkala, in Trivandrum district. I think one of my friend's daughter is also here, who was joined very recently as a MSc student. Okay, so the chemistry of the people at Varkala is that you have to go abroad. See, if you look at the neighbor houses, everybody is in UAE or UK or somewhere. I also inculcated, and those day one onwards, I also wanted to go abroad. Then, the moment I completed my PhD, I applied for a permanent resident visa in Australia, and it was granted in 1997. In fact, Dr. Sebastian Sar is also there. He also applied for permanent resident visa. We got some position also there. Then I realized that, like, you have to surrender your identity. You are not an Indian once you change your citizenship. So I declined my permanent resident visa because, as an Indian, our job is, the country has given us everything. We have to give return to the nation in terms of science, in terms of technology. This what I talked about, this renewable energy and all, it is not only for technology. It gives power to the agriculture, the farmers. So the common man. There are millions of houses where there is no electricity in the country. So you need to see that how best we can help them in getting, electricity through renewable energy. Lot need to be done for the benefit of the nation. I just want to cite one more example, and you should not think stereotype. Like, you have to think out of the box. Dr. Jayasri is an accomplished researcher in medical electronics now. I appreciate that and I salute her, because she also did her PhD in spectroscopy, but she's now working in a very different domain. One of my colleagues from my department, my CMAT, she was working on a thermal sensors, NTC thermal sensors. If you look at the, your refrigerator or your air conditioner, you'll see what is the temperature which is displayed. This all used NTC thermistor. When she developed a composition where the temperature, resolution or accuracy is 0.01, she thought that it can be used for early cancer detection, because the difference in temperature between your, normal cell and a malignant cell is 1 degree centigrade. She developed a wearable device, and she, instead of mammogram, that is an accepted method for, early cancer detection in the country. You have to shell out 2,200 rupees or 2,500 rupees for mammogram to identify cancer, whereas with 100 rupees you should be able to identify. So you need to work towards the betterment of the mankind. For that, she got Nari Shakti Award. So this at-home function at President's also, she has been invited. So what I wanted to tell you is that take research as a passion, and try to serve the country, try to serve the human being, our fellow being, for improving the quality of life. This is the kind of message which I want to share with you. Thank you so much for the department for arranging this function. I don't know whether I deserve that, because I always wanted to be one among you. My mindset is like a JRF. If I get a two-wheeler, still I can come and work here for years together. So thank you so much for being with me today. Thank you, Jai Hind.
We sincerely appreciate Ratheesh sir for his informative and inspiring talk. Thank you, sir.
Now we have come to the concluding part of today's function. To express our gratitude, I invite Dr. Siddhi K.S., Head of the Department of Nanoscience and Nanotechnology, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Respected teachers, dear colleagues, members of our alumni fraternity, students, and above all, our distinguished alumnus, Dr. R. Ratheesh sir. It is a privilege to rise before you to deliver this vote of thanks on this memorable day. When asked to do this, I felt I shouldn't just talk words of formality, but I should also express my gratitude drawn from my heart. And I would like to share a personal experience with Ratheesh sir that I would like to share with this audience. As you all know, I travel every day, every Friday home on one such evening. Because of the meetings at Palayam, I missed my usual train at 5:30 and I boarded the 7:30 Maveli train, Maveli Express instead. Around 7:25, a gentleman hurried in. Out of courtesy, I only glanced, but soon I realized that it was Ratheesh sir. Though I have interacted with him in many official capacities, like an external expert, guide, and through many alumni activities, the journey offered me another perspective. For half an hour, from Trivandrum to Varkala, we spoke about science and we spoke about life. He shared that his mother is waiting in Varkala and she would not sleep until he reached there, and how the food would be waiting in the table. It was a simple human moment. One reminded me of my own mother waiting at home late into the night with a meal prepared. That warmth and humility struck me deeply. But amidst this, he also asked me something profound. He said that the ministry has tasked him to identify areas of material science which would bring visible results within a decade. And then he turned to me, what do you think we should focus on? ഈ ചോദ്യം എന്നെ വല്ലാതെ വലച്ചു. ഒരു 5 മെറ്റീരിയൽ പറയാനാണ് സാറ് ചോദിച്ചത്. പേറ്റന്റ് എടുക്കുക, പബ്ലിക്കേഷൻ ചെയ്യുക, അസോസിയേറ്റ് പ്രൊഫസർ ആകുക, പ്രൊഫസർ ആകുക എന്ന ലക്ഷ്യങ്ങൾക്കപ്പുറം എനിക്കിങ്ങനെ ഒരു ചിന്തയില്ലായിരുന്നു. The question stayed with me, and at the time my world was still revolving around research papers, academic milestones. His words urged me to think differently about the result the society can feel and see. Today, I plan something for nanoscience department. I carry forward your thoughts, sir, and we have chosen 2 to 3 themes, which I think we have jointly proposed with Sharad sir. And for the first time in life, I have proposed a 3 crore plan project. And I am planning to work in next 5 years, at least as a teacher and a researcher, for the benefit of students in Department of Physics, Department of Nanoscience, and for the future of the university. And I would like to have also the privilege of listening to your talk. You were talking about the energy demands of silicon wafer. And actually, I was thinking about my recent discussion with Sharad sir. Why can't be there alternate materials like tungsten or molybdenum sulfide, which we are doing in nanoscience, which have some similar properties like silicon, which could replace it. So those proposals are being put. So I would like to say that, sir, through this journey, you have been like what a true research is to mean for us. And for the lessons, I would also like to tell that lesson he taught me when it was in JOSA's send-off meeting at C.V. Raman Hall Cliff. There was a director who came exactly at 10:30 p.m. online. And it was very hard to face him because I was in the other side and behind me there was no one. Then I said that, sir, we may have 5 minutes delay. Then he told me, Sibi, every time, start the meeting on time. That advice I will try to follow. On behalf of Department of Physics, the Kerala University Physics Society, our faculty, students and alumni community, I extend our heartfelt thank you for the gracing us with your presence today, sir. We are all very proud of you, sir. And we are grateful to you, sir. And I would like to take a moment to acknowledge Dr. R.S. Jayasri, who joined today for the felicitation of Dr. Ratheesh, sir. It gives us immense pride to note that she has been selected for the prestigious Women in Medicine Award 2025 by National Academy of Science, Medical Science. This recognition is a matter of honor, not just for her, but for all of us associated with her. And we extend our heartfelt congratulations to you. Once again, thank you, ma'am. And I would like to take this occasion to thank Dr. M.T. Sebastian, who is the person who created all these persons. He is a former scientist in CSIRNS, formerly he will be hearing this in the online, I think whose work in dielectric and micromaterials, Jayawar sir is smiling. I used to see Sebastian sir because Sebastian sir's close friend was Peter Hoshi. They were neighbors. I only just see Subho sir just like വളരെ പെട്ടെന്ന് ഓടി എന്തോ റിസർച്ച് ചെയ്ത് പോകുന്ന ഒരാളാണ് സുബോധ് സർ. I never used to talk when I was there in NIST. And I find that his guidance, I think, that is what creates all of you. And not only Ratheesh sir, but innumerable number of students were guided by Dr. M.T. Sebastian. And I acknowledge and deeply appreciate the mentorship he has given to Dr. Ratheesh sir. And now we have actually a personal mentor like Dr. Ratheesh sir for our department, which part we were talking, Dr. Subodh and myself were talking. You will be going to mentor us for future. And special thanks to the research scholars of Dr. Subodh. They are actually doing a lot of job, and they are exclusively from the momento they have designed to the camera adjustment they are doing in online, because online participants are asking, adjust the camera. So they are adjusting the camera. And kudos to you and thank you. You are a part of us. And thank you all. And I personally thank all who are joining here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. With that, our program comes to a close. We sincerely thank each and every one of you for your presence and support. Thank you all.